The directions say that we need to write the matching equation. That means we will have an equal sign for each math sentence. Remember, the matching equation has to have the same order as the math sentence. So if 4 comes first in the math sentence, it will come first in your equation. 4 multiplied by 8, that means 4 times, is equal to 32. 4 multiplied by 8 is equal to 32. Next, the product of means multiply. The product of 9 and 10 is 90. 9 times 10 equals 90. We're keeping the order the same. Number 3, 63 is, that means equals 7 times as many as 9. 63 is 7 times as many as 9. Next, 4 groups of 5. That means multiply because we're having 4 groups and there are 5 in each group, is equal to 20. 4 groups of 5 is equal to 20. We're keeping the order the same because they match. And last, 56 is equal to 8 times as many as 7. That means 8 times. 56 is equal to 8 times as many as 7. The directions say to underline the important information, write an equation, has an equal sign to solve, and write a complete sentence to answer each question. Hutch ate 4 times more cupcakes than Pete. Pete ate 3 cupcakes. How many cupcakes did Hutch eat? First thing we do is bracket the question. Hutch ate 4 times more. That is 4 times more cupcakes than Pete. We are comparing Hutch versus Pete and the amount of cupcakes they ate. Pete ate 3 cupcakes. How many cupcakes did Hutch eat? The first thing we need to do is bracket the question. Something times something equals something. How many times goes first? Hutch ate 4 times as many as Pete. We know that Pete ate 3 cupcakes. We're going to say 3 cc for cupcakes. And we know 4 times 3 is 12 cupcakes. For Hutch, answer the question with a complete sentence. Hutch ate 12 cupcakes. There we go. Number 7, Wismer has 7 times as many mice as Miller. Wismer has 21 mice. How many mice does Miller have? The first thing we need to do is bracket the question. Wismer has 7 times as many, that's 7 times, as Miller. We're comparing Wismer and Miller. Wismer has 21 mice. How many mice does Miller have? Something times something equals something. How many times goes first? Wismer has 7 times as many as Miller, and we know that Wismer has 21 mice. We do not know how many mice Miller has, and so we're going to have to solve the opposite operation to find that missing factor. We're going to solve 21 divided by 7, the factor that we know, equals that missing number, which is 3. And so now we can write our sentence because we know Miller has 3 mice. Last question on this page. Getz ran 24 miles. Campbell ran 3 miles. How many times more miles did Getz run than Campbell? The first thing we need to do is bracket the question. Getz ran 24 miles. Campbell ran 3 miles. How many times more? We do not know the number of times, so we're using a variable, a symbol for a number we do not know. More miles did Getz run than Campbell. It is Getz versus Campbell. How many times goes first? We do not know the number of times, but they're asking Getz versus Campbell, and we know how many miles Mrs. Campbell ran. That was 3 miles. We know that Getz ran 24 miles. They want to know how many times more miles did Getz run, and so we will do the opposite operation to find that missing number. 24 divided by 3 will tell us our missing number, which is 8. We need to write a sentence that answers the question. The question has that keyword times. How many times more miles did Getz run than Campbell? We're going to say Getz ran 8 times more miles than Campbell. Period. Time for this. There you go. Make sure you have that written on your paper. Number 9 says Mr. Hutch's first group of kids gave him 5 times more snacks than his second group. His first group gave him 45 snacks. How many snacks did his second group give him? First thing we need to do is bracket the question. Mr. Hutch's first group of kids gave him 5 times. We're going to say 5 times more snacks than his second group. His first group gave him 45 snacks. How many snacks did his second group give him? Let's set up our equation. Something times something equals something. And we know how many times goes first. His first group gave him 5 times as many. So we're going to say that's the first group versus his second group. And we know how many his first group gave him. We do not know how many snacks his second group gave him, so we have to put a variable in for that factor. But we do know that his first group gave him 45 snacks. Now we need to do the inverse operation to find this missing factor, which means we're going to solve 45 snacks divided by 5 will tell us that missing number, and that missing number is 9 because we know 5 times 9 equals 45. Let's write our sentence. The second group gave him 9 snacks, period.